Well, it's the weekend again, and this is the second installment of the Friday fishing forecast. And we're coming up on a full moon. Full moon is one of my least favorite moons to fish. I typically hate fishing the full moon. During this time of year, fishing at night is really good because it's cooler. I think the fish are more active because the moon is overhead, and that's when you get those major feeding times. And we've had some really good success at night, and then we've had not so good success at night, especially later in the summer. For some reason, we just don't do well at night. During August and September, we just don't do well at night for some reason. Also, I want to talk about the support that everybody's been giving us. I just want to say thank you, because people have been buying the jig heads like crazy. I didn't even realize it was going to be like that. So I've been very busy building jig heads. We really appreciate the support. Please, if you catch some fish on them, send us in a video or send us in a picture, and we'll be able to share it on our Facebook page and on our website. So please, if you catch fish, take a photo of it or take some video of it and send it to us, so we can help expose what you guys are doing out there. And again, I really appreciate the support, and so does Chad. And I appreciate the people coming by here and buying jigs and sitting down and talking with me. It's been a real pleasure. So as you can see, we have an incoming tide from around 8:30 until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And right as the tide tops out, I think that is going to be the best opportunity to get into a lot of fish, especially grouper and snapper. As you can see, we're coming up on the full moon. We're one day to the full moon. As I discussed earlier, that's not my favorite moon to fish, but you can catch fish during the day on a full moon. Now let's look at the solunars. On Saturday, we have a major feeding time from 12:36 to 2:36, and that coincides with the top of that incoming tide when it starts to slow down. I think that's going to be the best time to be able to get into the fish. So if you're grouper, especially grouper and snapper, if you're grouper and snapper fishing this weekend, you want to make sure that you're in a really good spot and able to start chumming when that tide starts to slow down. I think the fish will really go off during that time. It's not 100% accurate, but it should be. The last couple of weeks, the tides have been running later than usual because of that consistent east-northeast wind. If you don't know, the wind does have a factor on what the tide is doing. So let's say that we've had a strong east-northeast wind or northeast wind. It actually makes the outgoing tide longer than normal. And if we have a southwest wind, it usually makes the incoming tide longer than normal, especially if there's strong winds. Well, that's the fishing forecast for the weekend. I hope I was able to share some knowledge with you, and look forward to next week when we have a new video out. I'm going to concentrate this week on what we look for on bottom structure, specifically more on the Simrad than we are on the side imaging, because I know everybody doesn't have a side imaging machine. So we're going to concentrate a little bit more on what we're looking for on the bottom when we're cruising along looking for new spots. But thanks again for all the support. We really appreciate it.